very much, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all on behalf of Planning and Development Department, Government of Sindh. We are organizing this talk by inviting an eminent economist who has worked, tremendously for the growth of economic zones in China. And I'm also very privileged to honor and welcome you all for this talk on economic cooperation for industrial development, including success stories of Chinese economic zones being organized by us. I'm especially privileged and honored to welcome our distinguished guest from our brotherly country, China, Professor Justin Yifu Lin of Peking University. Professor Lin, as it is evident from his high profile, is one of the best eminent economists of the world. His vast, multifaceted and diverse experience in different parts of the world in general, and economic development and special economic zones in People's Republic of China are of enormous value and significance for us in Pakistan and Sindh as we embark upon a renewed commitment for industrial development, special economic zones, and China-Pakistan economic corridor. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, Sindh is an agrarian economy. However, it is one of the most urbanized provinces in Pakistan. Urbanization is generally regarded as a basic precursor for industrialization and economic development. Well, in order to give an impetus to industrial and economic development, it is also imperative to invest in development of different social and physical facets of the society. Respected guests, being cognizant of this fact, Government of Sindh has prepared a Sindh Vision 2025, which is in sync with the Pakistan Vision 2025 for harnessing human, social and economic development of the province. Currently, Government of Sindh is working with the World Bank for formulation of Sindh Growth Strategy, and it would be prepared in the month of April, and definitely it would crystallize the vision into concrete strategies for development of various social, economic and physical sectors to not only attain development or economic development, but rather sustainable development and achievement of sustainable development goals, as we are a signatory to the SDGs agenda, and it's a 2016 to 2030 program. We have kept a sizable allocation in our current year's ADP. We have included 571 new schemes focusing 17 SDGs, and we have kept an allocation of 14.5 billion rupees in our current year's ADP. In addition to this, there are many other interventions also. Well, in order to streamline the efforts of various departments towards the accomplishment of these goals, a SDG unit has been established in the Planning and Development Department.
It's a great honor for me to come to give a talk, share some of my ideas about China's experiences. After the Second World War, there were altogether about 200 developing economies in the world, and they all want to catch up with the high-income country. Due to too many government intervention caused all kind of government failures. And so the idea of development at that time was to advise the developing country to remove all those type of intervention distortion in the framework of so-called Washington Consensus by privatization, marketization, liberalization, and with the hope to build up well-functioning market institution in a high-income country so they can have good economic performance. If you follow your competitive advantages to decide to choose or to develop your industries and technologies, you will be consistent with your competitive advantages. And your factor cost of production will be the lowest. And you will be most competitive, domestically and internationally. And if you are competitive domestically and internationally, certainly you make a profit, you produce economic surplus, you can save, and you can increase capital. Entrepreneur does not care comparative advantages. They care the profitability. And how to translate the incentive to pursue profit and spontaneously to choose industry and technology to be consistent with a country's comparative advantages. Economic development is a process of continuous technology innovation, industrial upgrading, infrastructure improvement, and institutional innovation. For that, without state to coordinate or to provide, things will not happen. For a developing country like China in 1979, the infrastructure was very poor. The business environment was very poor. And the international buyer did not have confidence on the Chinese product. And under the kind of situation, the way to overcome all those barriers was to have active government facilitation. When the infrastructure is poor for the whole nation, well, according to the Washington Consensus, you should improve the infrastructure for the whole nation. You should not have a location preference. But infrastructure is so poor, and any government resources limited. If you want to improve the infrastructure for the whole nation, it may take a century, and you still do not have good infrastructure. So under the kind of situation, instead of trying to improve infrastructure, simply for everywhere in the country, the government set up special economic zone, export processing zone, industrial parks. Within the zone and the park, infrastructure was made good enough. That's one thing. At the beginning, the business environment, the governance were very poor. Certainly, it would be desirable to improve business environment for the whole nation. However, my argument shows, if you want to remove all those barrier in the business environment, that means you need to remove all the distortion. But as I said, if you want to remove all the distortion, you may cause the collapse of all sectors. So it may not be desirable in the transition process to remove all the distortion. But certainly, you want to have good business environment for the new sector, how can you do that? You can have some kind of spatial arrangement for the policy in the industrial park for the spatial economic zone. What we can do well, certainly, is our competitive advantages. And so, if we have a proactive government to facilitate the competitive advantages to become national competitiveness, then certainly you can be competitive anytime. You don't have to wait.
As regard to the SEZs, there are at the moment three important facets to that, and one of them is basically the Khairpur industrial zone. It's there. The other two are here in Karachi, the Kurangi industrial area park, and the other one is Bin Qasim industrial park.
I feel that it's a win-win for both China and Pakistan, because Pakistan will have to buy goods and services for these $55 billion from China. And Pakistan, in fact, will get the investment and would be able to address the shortage of infrastructure here. So it's a win-win. And additionally, China will get the access of the Gwadar.
If Professor Lin is associated in some fashion with CPEC from the China side, I think that would be very good as well, because he should be able to communicate to a certain segment of the policy-making and academic group in Pakistan.
Very recently, the Chief Minister has also announced a special package for Karachi industries that is of 2.9 billion.
Pakistan, as a developing country, has potential to grow at 8 to 10% growth, and especially to capture the window of opportunity in the global relocation of the manufacturing industries. and thinks that opportunity arise. And if the government has the determination and to capture the opportunity, working together with global investment community and domestic business communities, I'm sure Pakistan has that opportunity. I think that economic growth will help to reduce the population growth, just like Malaysia.